All right. So I'm here with Joe Peduzzi. Joe, if you don't mind giving us a brief description of where you work and what your role is.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sean. So, yeah, my name's Joe Peduzzi. I work for Alcu Technologies. I work within our cybersecurity division here in our Nashville, Tennessee office.
Very nice. So, Joe, how would you describe your average day?
Yeah, so I'd say an average day of mine, I usually get into work pretty early, around 7 a.m. I start my day off by, prospecting which companies and clients and managers that I would like to, reach out to and introduce myself to. So a lot of the day involves cold calling. A lot of the day entails with following up with, clients or customers I've worked with before. And then, part of the day is also closing deals with relationships that I've already established.
Nice. So, would you say that your duties and daily responsibilities mostly consist of cold
Yeah,
calling and keeping customer relations?
yeah. So pretty much, maybe I could give like an outline of like what Alcu does and what our mission is. So we're a staffing and consulting company. So pretty much, I work with cybersecurity hiring managers throughout the country. They could be at any company, within the U.S. I work with a lot of their cybersecurity managers and directors, and try to build a relationship with managers, directors that utilize our service, which is using cybersecurity contractors. So our mission is to place as many contractors as we can with our clients. So yeah, a lot of the duties is building the relationships, introducing them to our candidates, and closing the deal, and then getting them started up with their company. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell.
Very nice. So, what is your selling philosophy and how do you demonstrate this philosophy?
Yeah, so I'd say my selling philosophy is all tailored around building relationships. You know, Customers and clients, they like working with people that they like. So when I am cold calling and introducing myself to managers, I know that I'm not trying to close the deal on that first call. It's pretty much to establish a relationship, connect on a personal level, and then also establishing if they use our service or not. Um, and then also, we do have competition, other staffing agencies that I do compete with. So I do sell on Alku in the awards we won. But I'm also, again, selling on myself and why I would be the best person to work with when they need our service.
Awesome. And how long does it take to build a good relationship with your customers normally?
Yeah, so I would say historically, to really build a strong relationship with a customer, I'm really seeing around that 6 month mark. They say with our company, it takes 6 months to really learn the job, and it also takes about 6 months to build these relationships up and to get an opportunity from them, to for us to be able to work together. So I usually would say 6 months is the sweet spot. Sometimes sooner, sometimes longer, but that's usually when you see an advertise.
Awesome. Uh, and how do you demonstrate your commitment to your customers?
Yeah. So when I'm talking with my customers, really, it's hard to actually explain and demonstrate the commitment. The best way that I show my commitment is, I get into work. I'm the first one in the door every day. I'm also the last one out the door every day. So when a customer reaches out to me with an immediate need, I drop everything that I'm doing and I make that a priority, because that's what I establish and explain to them. My first initial calls that, hey, when you have a need and I can help you out, I will 100% beat out the competition, be the first one to get back to them, and also provide a resource that exceeds the commitment to my customers.
That's a very good way to go about business.
Thank you.
So how would you say you develop prospects?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sean. So the way that I develop prospects and see what which people or which clients or customers it would make sense for myself to introduce myself. I use LinkedIn a lot. LinkedIn's a very valuable tool that I use. I search different clients that within LinkedIn, and also target cybersecurity managers and directors at these clients. and pretty much keep them on a list. I build my own call list. That way I have everything in front of me, little details about each client, where they work, and the background and their position. So yeah, I develop them through LinkedIn and some other tools and tactics, and have them all right in front of me. And I like to have it, neat and organized.
Seems like a pretty good way to prepare. Do you have any other ways that you prepare for your sales calls with new customers?
Yeah, so the best way, obviously, that's the way of finding them on, I guess, on paper, or putting them on the list. But the best way to ultimately qualify or disqualify a prospect is by cold calling them. I reach out, introduce myself, let them know the service that I provide, and then if they use my service before, if they plan on using it in the future, or it's something that I think we can work that together with, then I establish the relationship, share my contact information, and follow up with them accordingly.
That's very nice. So you said you've been with Alku for a little while now. Have you, in your own opinion, how has professional selling changed in the past few years?
Yeah, so I've been with Alcu. I joined right after college, about a little over 2 years ago. January 2021 is when I started. Um, so I would say professional selling, you know, it really hasn't changed dramatically. Cold calling, I am seeing a little, as technology advances, there are more ways of getting the contact information that we need. There's more tools that provide us with as many prospects as possible. But on the flip side of it, I'm also noticing that with the cold calling, with calling strangers, you're starting to see a lot of that on your own phone daily. From people don't know if it's scams, people don't know if it's someone trying to get their bank information. But I am noticing that there's a lot more blocked um, ways that people can block you from calling them on a cold call. So that's definitely an area that I'm seeing being a hurdle, but it hasn't been dramatic. It's definitely not affecting our workflow.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's not affecting you that much. Um, a couple more for you. What do you like most about your profession?
Yeah. So my favorite thing about working for Alcu, or even just a sales role, you never know. Every day is different. That's what I'll say. I drive to work. Um, I know that today, hey, today's might be different than yesterday. I might run into something that one can change, could honestly potentially change your life with income. Um, I also like that, I'm not just making a base salary. I'm pretty much the work that I put in, will affect my paycheck. So if I come in and I work hard day in and day out, I will notice that my paychecks increase as I continue to close deals and develop myself as a professional. So definitely no day's the same. You can run into different opportunities every day, and also the harder you work, the more money you're going to make. So that's what I like the most about it.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't love commission?
I know, I hear you.
So what would you say that you leak or you like least about your profession?
Yeah, I mean, there honestly, it's there's not much I don't like about my profession. I would say, in a sales role, any sales role that you're doing, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. You're going to have your highs, you're going to have your ups when you're closing deals and you're making a lot of money, but there also are going to be times that things don't go your way. You're not closing as many deals as you want, and that's the downslope of the roller coaster. Um, I like to tell the employees that start here is that the best people in a sales role handle themselves the best when they're in that low. That's obviously hard to do, but yeah, if I were to pick at least my least favorite thing about my profession, it is probably the low points of the not closing as many deals or not making as many sales.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So just two more questions for you. I know you're busy, man. In your opinion, what is the best way to retain a new customer?
Yeah, that's a good question, Sean. So yeah, I would say the best way to retain a new customer. Um, yeah, so pretty much it all really goes back to building a strong relationship. And that you can connect with certain people with different, connections that you might have with them. Um, but obviously at the end of the day, like I said, people like working with people they like, but it's also the product that you provide to the customer. So when they do give you that opportunity, that's the best way of creating that stronger relationship, is that you make sure that the product you're delivering to them is exactly what they're looking for and it exceeds their expectations. So building a strong relationship and providing, the best product that this client is requesting.
Two great answers right there. Final one for you. How often do you follow up with existing customers?
Yeah, so I like to touch base with my existing customers, honestly, about once a month. I reach out to them once a month just to check in, see how they're doing, see how their kids are doing in sports, see how their favorite sports team's doing. And then obviously I throw in a little work conversation to see how, check in with their team, seeing if there's anything pressing that I could help them out with, or, if they have anything in the future that I could help be prepared with. So yeah, I usually follow up with my customers, once a month, but there are times that it's kind of case by case. If it makes sense for me to follow up with them before then, then I get on that and I tweak it. Sometimes it can be every 2 weeks, but yeah, usually 2 weeks to 4 weeks is how I follow up with my customers.
Nice. Definitely keeps you fresh in their mind.
Absolutely.
Well, Joe, that is all the questions I have for you today. I appreciate your time. Uh, Thank you for participating in this interview with me, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, Sean, I appreciate you having me, man. Take care.